Hey, come in.
This flat is expensive to rent.
So this is where you live?
But for lots of money, it doesn't come with functioning central heating.
There's the radiator that has never worked.
And the amount you paid up front, how much did you pay?
It was over £10,000. Yeah, it was over £10,000. 6 months upfront rent plus the deposit. You know, we're paying sort of £1,750 a month, times that by 6.
And all that money for a place where the heating hasn't worked properly throughout the winter?
Throughout the winter, yeah. The coldest winter on record. Okay, so this is the bedroom.
Yeah.
Excuse the mess, we're moving out.
And for £10,000, there's also damp in the bedroom.
I mean, I'm ill now, I've got a cold. If you're sleeping in a room that's damp, and actually our clothes are under here, and sometimes they're damp because the floor is so damp, so cold, I just keep getting, I'm really sensitive to, you know, stuff like this, so I just keep getting colds constantly. And we've got 2 quilts on, you know, we've got 2 thick quilts on because it's so cold. It's just an example of the central heating, so I've just pressed it on.
Since moving into the flat in Waterloo, Lee Knight and his partner have kept a record
It doesn't really work.
of all their problems. The bathroom towel rail is the only heater that works.
This is where we get our heating.
Yeah.
From that little radiator. That provides the heating for this flat.
And there's no running hot water from the basin.
So I use a kettle to fill that. This doesn't work.
But Lee says his complaints have been answered with an eviction order. He'll now be leaving the flat, but wants others to be aware of the housing injustices.
It's the fact that agents don't have to make sure a flat's in working order before you move in, which I find amazing that's possible.
Conor O'Shea is from the housing organisation Generation Rent.
The tragic case of Bishak in Rochdale has prompted the government to act in social housing, but we know for a fact that it's worse, the situation in private rented housing, in terms of damp and mould, and there's no help coming from the government in that sense at the moment.
Lee's managing agent Stirling Ackroyd told us, "We're sorry to hear of Lee and his partner's experience. We continue to work towards a fair renters' charter and decent home standard."
What would your advice to anyone thinking of renting this flat?
Renting this flat, I mean, you know, I would, you know, steer clear.
Lee's message to private tenants: check the housing conditions before committing to rent. Rex Martel, ITV News.